feel better. Yep.
So good. Oh, what is happening?
Good.
Something. Whatever. Um. Yeah, what was good this week? I mean, I know it was a long week, but for me today was the Hudson's Helping Hands event, which is super awesome. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about it. We could start there. Jeffrey, you want to pull up from the jump just to get an insight?
yeah, I mean, it
Oh,
was
my
cool.
bad. I know we're doing that right now.
No, it's cool.
And you can explain it a little bit more than.
Yeah, so this is an organization that a non-for-profit that I connected with once Garrett was officially diagnosed as autistic. I know Kristen, the founder. She is the mother and founder of Hudson's Helping Hands. Her son Hudson is autistic, and she started this.
And just to clarify, our son, who's 6 years old, is autistic. It's not me that's autistic. Not that it's like, but just this. We're talking about a kids event.
Yeah. So what she does is she tries to, reach out to different companies and businesses and try to, provide as much inclusion for our kids as possible. And so I connected with her, and some of the events that she's done is she's been able to have a movie night for our kids where the museum was shut down to the public and it was invite only, not just for our kids, but we can also invite friends. So our kids can, have their friends there and, you know, it's just super cool because it doesn't put our kids in a box where they have to act a certain way, that things have to go a certain way. It very much just gives them the opportunity to be involved in community stuff and gives them a safe place to do it. So we've done that. And then today was the first event called Let's Eat, where a restaurant closed their doors to the public for 2 hours so that we could take our kids and invite friends and family members to come and have a dining experience, a restaurant experience where, we're fortunate where our son can sit at a restaurant. So we have taken him to restaurants before. I think that it was interesting for us to try it a different way. Normally we get him to like sit with a tablet or he'll color for a little bit, but then, we'll give him the tablet or we'll give him, our phones and whatever. And, this time we didn't do that. And we kind of gave him the opportunity to be himself, more of how he is at home. He doesn't usually sit too much when he's eating at home. Or he.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to go to the movie one, but this one tonight was very eye-opening, and the fact that this organization was even able to, I mean, they bought out La Palm for 2 hours. That's.
Well, what they did is they asked them to close it to us. We had to pay for our food. We could order whatever we wanted off the menu. It didn't look like it was a special menu. It just looked like their normal restaurant menu. And they just allowed it to be a private event for us. And, we invited.
Yeah, that was super cool though. But to be able to do that with La Parmigiana is, I mean, that was super cool. So, and I saw a lot of things that I wasn't, because I didn't get to go to the one with you at the movie theater, but I did get to go to this one, and it was to see the spectrum level of kids on the spectrum.
Yeah,
it's all different levels that you can't possibly understand unless you see it.
Yeah, when they say that it's autism spectrum, it's very true. And
I know I put it in the wrong chat. Sorry, bro. Like I'll own it. I put it in the public chat.
I was trying to remove some shit. Don't worry about it. I'm just hanging out.
Garrett.
Wow.
Hi.
Calm down, buddy. You're okay.
He went for a moment.
But no, it's so cool, and through this organization, I have been able to meet a lot of different moms, and one of the main things, because we're in the community, very newly into the community. Our son just got diagnosed over the summer at 6,
Yeah.
and a lot of the friends that I've been running into and meeting from this community, their kids have been diagnosed for a while. So this isn't something brand new for them. But I truly believe that every day is a learning experience for special needs moms and special needs parents. But through this organization and other people in the special needs community, the main thing that they say is that there's not a lot of stuff out here for our kids. There's not a lot of things available for our kids. There's not a lot of inclusion for our kids. And what we all are realizing is that, because for me, it feels like a lot. I mean, baby, I come home to you every single day and I'm like, hey, he's been invited to this. Hey, they're putting together this.
Yeah.
Hey, this is available for him now, and we do both. We do because Garrett was in special education last year, but because of his amazing teacher, shout out to Mr. Phillips, he hands down is the reason that Garrett is
Thriving the way that he's
is where
thriving,
he is right now.
Yep.
Our son is in an inclusive classroom in school. So we also give him the option of multiple different types of groups: inclusion, special education, special needs. We really try to open up his his community. And so for me, I'm like, it just feels like there's so much available. It's like he wants to be in everything, and we want to put him in everything, but there's not enough time. And they shared with me that last year it wasn't the case. And
Yeah.
it's very much where it is today because of the mothers in this community. Every mother that has a connection with someone is reaching out and saying, would you be interested in helping me with my kid? Would you be interested in opening your business for my kid and his friends? Would you be interested in doing this or doing that or trying this and trying that? Gymnastics, for instance, is the new thing, and it's the work that we do.
Yep.
We want a good community for our kids. So what do we do? What do parents do when they want a good community for their kids? We create one. And I really think that we get the opportunity to do that. So
Yeah, they really did. And and it's good because because of the different levels of the spectrums that all these kids were on, and you could tell like they were, we know that our son can go sit at Applebee's for 2 hours and be fine. Some of these kids can't.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They really can't.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're opening up these opportunities for these kids to go have these experiences and help their parents figure out how to, help them get through being out at dinner or loud noises that are happening in a restaurant, I think is amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's really special.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm so glad that we were able to find this community, and there's not a lot of, I don't know if people know that it's out there for them like that
Mm-hmm.
to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of, babe, I don't know if you felt this when he officially got diagnosed, but a lot of the women and mothers, because that's who I usually speak to, is the mothers, felt and feel, or I guess I should say felt, because now with this community they don't feel it as much, but felt like they were alone.
Yeah.
And felt like there was nobody else, and felt like they didn't have anybody else. And I was actually having a conversation because as Avery and I are gonna hopefully start this boxing program for autistic adults and eventually autistic children. We were having a conversation with a woman that reached out to him, and then he of course and graciously invited me into the space to help him navigate this and do this with him.
Yeah, that's Avery from Hill Street Boxing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So listening to her saying, because she's building another community, that kind of eventually these communities will find each other and slowly build a bigger community. But something that I said to her the other day was that when you hear that your child is autistic or has special needs, it feels like the world is trying to keep them small. It feels like that they're not welcome in a lot of places because they're different.
Yeah, I think if you have a typical child, you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you don't understand like kids just being kids.
Yep.
Like, kids don't sit still. Kids move around, run around, act ridiculous. Like that's kids.
Mm-hmm.
With a kid on the spectrum, it's just a little bit, I mean, I can only speak from experience from ours, but he just feels things a little bit more than other kids feel them.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit more heightened.
Certain noises.
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of the stuff we've worked out, but at the same time, like, yeah, some days he needs to stim more than other days. Some days he needs to go run it out and be athletic more than other days because he's, I don't know, we call it the wiggles, but he's got the
Mhm.
wiggles.
Mhm.
It's such a broad spectrum. I mean, even now, like, what's he doing? He wants verbal stimulation, so he's kind of singing to himself, or
Making noises.
yeah,
Yep.
just not even
Mhm.
like word noises,
Mhm.
just noises for
Yeah.
himself because it makes him calm down a little bit, feel better, that sort of thing. So if the one thing that I did see that I thought was um a little tough for me was just I feel bad that parents feel like if their kid is having a behavior in a certain space that they can't like allow their kid to kind of have that behavior
Mhm.
and try to work through and process the behavior they're having and still keep them in the same setting. They just rush them out the door and maybe feel embarrassed or feel whatever. Like
Mhm.
I hate that happens. I understand why
Yeah.
you would do it
Mhm.
and why you're just like, oh, let me just take you home and put you in an environment that's super comfortable for you so you can just be calm. Like
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like in a place like that where all of us were parents of kids that have certain behaviors or on the spectrum in a certain capacity, like that was an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And I also am always curious in certain situations how you figure out how things work and how some things don't work. And again, I can only speak from Garrett, being his mother. There are some situations where I know that separating him from the situation is just better right now.
Right.
And it's more helpful for me to remove him from that situation and try to be able to speak to him in a way that he can focus a little bit more, and we can kind of either squeeze it out together, talk about it together, walk it out together, whatever he needs to kind of get him out of that situation. That those might be the steps in one particular situation, but not all situations. And that's why I said today it was exciting for us to give him that opportunity to not have his tablet when we were there, to see kind of in this setting with his friends, how he would be. And it was very much like at home. Like, he very rarely sits at home to eat. We've been trying a little bit, at least if he has a snack, certain snacks, he will sit, because he knows, like, you can't bring a bowl of yogurt into your bedroom or into the living room. It has to be at the table.
Yep.
So he'll sit for that, but that's a quick snack. To be able to sit for a full meal, like, we're not really there yet, but we constantly work on it for him to be able to do that. But I'm just, yes, baby, hold
Yes,
on one
Kat.
second. Hold on one second.
We forgot the snacks.
What
Yeah.
snack? Well, you can go have a pouch if you want one. Okay. Okay.
But
There's
yeah,
one in my fridge.
what?
There's a pouch in my fridge.
Oh,
There's a pouch in Uncle Jeff's fridge.
yeah,
if
go
you
get a
want.
pouch at Uncle Jeff's fridge.
Did you say where's the fridge?
He did.
Yeah,
Of course he
did.
does.
He did.
He always says that. He always responds that way.
It's on the door.
He found it.
Okay,
Um,
good.
Go ahead. He saved it for you. Go ahead, sit. Go ahead. Because you're his favorite.
I think the football game on the television, because he's so used to watching
Helped,
football.
yeah.
With us or with
Mhm.
me anyway.
Mhm.
I know you
I-
try to watch football.
I do
with me a
sit and
lot.
watch
Yeah.
with you guys.
But I think that helped that it happened to be on in the restaurant and he could focus on that a little bit. And, but it wasn't a thing where like we were going to bring him there and we thought for 2 seconds that he was going to eat something out of the restaurant. He wasn't.
No.
So we brought his food with him, but he
Mhm.
still got to sit, eat, socialize.
See other kids eating. That's
Right.
one of the things that his speech therapist says all the time is that, getting him around more food and exposing him to more food and, even getting him to a point where he might help me cook a couple things at home just to get him more involved in it is something that they have seen help translate later. Even though he's not trying the food immediately, at least he's around more food, touching more food, dealing with those types of textures and smells and that kind of thing or whatever, are those stepping stones, and
Well, and all kids, when they see their friends do something, they want to do it too.
right. So
and
seeing
he had
his
Kaya and Conrad there and, so.
yeah, and a couple of his other friends
Yeah.
and, but, so the other day I said that, when your kid gets diagnosed as autistic or a disability or whatever, it feels like the world tries to make them small. But the more that I've been involved with this community and this organization and more organizations and stuff, I feel like
Yes, sir.
there's more hope.
Podcast.
There's more hope for our kids. There's more, and it's because of us.
Yeah.
Because we are the ones that are like, there's got to be more for our kids. And if there's not, then we're going to create it. We're going to create it ourselves and make it a place for, ourselves. And so I just love all of it. I'm just so grateful for all of it.
Yeah, it was super cool. Jeff, if you want to pull it back up again, we can show a little bit more of like scroll through the helping hand because they're awesome and they really do a very good job of
yeah, so this is one of the organizations. This is and then I'll have you pull up the other one or I can look it up or whatever. So if you go down, the one right at the top was the one that we did today. They have, so
this one?
Yeah, that's La Parme.
Yep. So that's the restaurant that we went to today. And then if you go to the one of right underneath it, it's called Fall on the Farm. So there's a Monster Mash edition. You can go in and you can come in your Halloween costume or not. I always love that. It's like you can come in or not. But what they do is they just give the kids an opportunity to be in a place that is go down. Yep. So it was right there, the middle one. Let's eat. There's support help. Yep. And then the one right underneath it, there's support help every month where parents can go and get on and just talk. And it's mostly like, what are 3 things, like what are you grateful for? And then what are a couple things that you're struggling with? And, one of the ones, one of the support groups, the parents shared, and I felt this way too, was that the fear of their kid never making friends.
Yeah.
And that was something that I know we talked about, was my fear of Garrett never making friends. And I will say this, and will say this probably for the rest of my life, is that my son proves me wrong all the time. And he shows up all the time and he shows me that he's fine all the time because we went to open house, baby. And what did they say?
Yeah, he's like the mayor
a
of
social
the school.
butterfly. Yeah. He sits at a table with so many kids. And he also volunteered to go sit with a kid that was sitting by himself that doesn't like to sit with other people because it's too stressful for him.
Oh, stop at that. Go back down, Jeff. Go back to that. The little kid on the horse.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Keep going back down. Right there. Yeah. Yep. Pull that one up. Yeah.
So they do that too.
Yeah.
They do horse therapy. So cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was amazing. And it really is just getting kids around other kids and that's what we've always tried to do for him. We've always put him in everything. And coming from a kid who really didn't talk, until he was like 4, this massive leap that he's taken is unbelievable. So, and all these kids together, just getting to experience things together, learning how to do it together, getting over their fears together. I mean, he always loved puddles, but him going to the Spartan race and doing the little kid Spartan race and touching mud and having his socks wet. I remember when he couldn't have his socks be wet.
Yep.
It was like the worst, awful fate in life was his socks.
It was.
It was.
Any sort of texture, like wet texture, like he just couldn't.
And now he's running through mud puddles with other children, trying to win, and he wants to win, and he wants to race, and he wants to run. Like, I mean, it's just, it's pretty amazing what this group's been able to do and how many parents they've been able to bring together and kids that they've been able to bring together. So yeah, it was an awesome experience tonight. And I'm so glad that La Parme did it. I'm so glad that, I'm so glad that they did it. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
everything
here,
about it.
I'm going to show one more. So this is another organization that I found too. So it's called Flying Point Foundation.
Oh, that's where he does gymnastics, right?
Nope. This is where he goes on, he goes to the point.
Oh, right.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he goes there, where he gets to socialize. It's free play and exploration and social time. And, this is where he has teachers that are there. And this is where we've met other friends. And, it's super cool to see, again, we are like, they do fitness, they do open hours where kids and adults. So before this was just mainly for adults.
Yeah.
But then they, have gotten interest in people that are like, hey, what about our young kids too? Like this is something that they do too over the summer, which I definitely want to get Garrett into next summer.
Oh yeah,
they
he
do
loves to swim.
swimming classes, and they also do surfing classes where he can go surf.
That's awesome.
Because I won't go in the ocean. So
I'll go. You know me, I don't care. I'll go.
But this is another organization that is really trying to just create a community for our kids, and through both organizations, I've met a lot of moms, and we were at dinner tonight, and one of the moms happens to be a mother of a kid that Garrett was in class with last year. We just never crossed paths. We just never were in the same circle. But now with these new programs, we're running in the same circle a lot. And her son came up to me today twice at dinner, and he just came over and got close, and
awesome.
he's nonverbal, and he just came over to me, and she came up and she's like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, you don't have to be sorry, because here, all of our kids are welcome everywhere. We're family.
Yeah, we're
family, and I could see in her eyes that she just was getting teary-eyed, and she's like, we're family. And I was like, we're family. And I think that is just what we want for our kids. I always say it takes a village to raise a kid. And I think it takes a very special village to raise an autistic kid or a special needs kid. And so to have other parents that are like, I got you, I'm here, I can help too, even when my kid is there, I think was pretty special. So I'm very, very grateful for this community that we are around for our kid.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm glad I got to see it. I'm glad I got to I'm glad I got to experience it. I mean, really, all the parents, the dads, the moms, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every single second of it. I enjoyed all the kids. I enjoyed all the back and forth we could do with the parents and being able to talk to other parents with other issues, some issues that we have seen before, some issues that we haven't, that might be upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool. I'm glad they do stuff like this. That was awesome.
And it's nice to be able to look at another mom and just say, like, I'm fucking struggling, and they understand what you're saying. It's just nice to have that community of people. So
it was very cool. I loved every second of it.
And I'm excited for more. for more of what, is going to be available for our kids and what more we're going to want to do. So I'm excited for it.
I mean, speaking of Hill Street boxing, Nico's fight's coming up shortly.
Ooh.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the last time we talked to him, he felt super ready.
Yep.
So he looked good. His weight was coming down to make weight. I know he was a little nervous about that, but he looked really good when we saw him. And go down to the one where he's in the red gloves. That one. Yep. He looks look at his legs. He looks so strong. He's working out right now. He's with Julius.
If you go to the stories, go to Hill Street Stories. I think they shared something where he's with Julius right now. Can you share their stories? Yeah.
Just click on Hill Street Boxing at the top.
At the circle. Click the circle.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep going over.
Well,
there was that one. That one was funny. No, keep going. One right there. Yeah. It was the next one. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he looks good. Yep.
Oh, and then they got their certification.
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
So I'm very excited. October, the 21st of this month. They're gonna throw down 2 belts on the line.
That's fast.
I think Grant is gonna live stream it so that we can see it and talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be super cool. I'm ready. I can't wait. He looks as good as I've ever seen him, if not better. So I'm ready to see him. He already choreographed how he's gonna knock this dude out. So I'm ready to go. He shot his shot. And like I've said before, he likes to play the heel. He's great at playing the heel. He was made to play the heel. He does not give a crap. So I'm really ready for this. I'm excited. I can't wait to see homie get it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would never bet against Nico. If he feels like he's ready, then I don't bet against Nico. Ready. Yeah.
You've watched him grow up, so
Yeah. Yeah, I'm biased. I have a bias to him.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about that. What else we got? What do we got? We're talking to Jana Warnecki tomorrow. That's gonna be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Jana Warnecki. She is part of GAG, or GAG, and I'm excited. I want to talk to her. She's another lesbian. I think she's a couple years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of grew up around the same time period, and I'm kind of interested in asking her what she feels like the difference between how we grew up and how we came up to how these kids are coming up now, what the difference is, what the struggles are, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how it's influencing our kids. So I'm excited about that.
I think it's gonna be a good conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a supercharged IG, no doubt. Her IG is supercharged.
Mm-hmm.
So if you trigger easy, I don't know what to tell you. We're having hard conversations tomorrow. So
yeah.
But it should be super fun. And then I think we're talking to Athena on Thursday about her initiative, her seminar, her same struggles. It's kind of super funny. I talked to her about it before, and kind of some of the struggles that we go through are the same, and we don't even realize it. We come from 2 different worlds, 2 different cultures, but some of the struggles correlate.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, whatever you're going through, there's a way to connect them and understand what somebody else might be going through with a different struggle than you.
Yep.
So I'm excited to talk to her too, and see how her seminar went and how she felt about it.
Yeah.
We'll bring that up later in the week and post some more stuff about her seminar.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm pumped. And then obviously we're gonna do some more, learning life on the spectrum and kind of follow our journey with our kid and figuring it out as kind of two parents who aren't on the spectrum raising a kid that is on the spectrum. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's gonna be an exciting week. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
And yeah, screw it. Let's go.
Let's go.
I like it.
All right.
All right. Bam bam out.
Bye.
Later.